I received a game key for Moto Rush Reborn from Starfall PR for review purposes. Moto Rush Reborn is an action racing game developed and published by Baltoro Games and released on March 20th of 2026 for Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and PC via Steam. It drops you into a neon-soaked version of Tokyo where all you have to do is go fast. If you enjoy challenging arcade-style racers about constantly pushing for the fastest and cleanest run, this fits right alongside games like Horizon Chase Turbo and Adrenaline Rush Miami Drive. It's the kind of game you boot up thinking you'll do one run, and then suddenly you're chasing a better time for the next hour. There is a story here, but it stays mostly in the background unless you actively go after it. After wrecking your bike, you end up with a demon-possessed engine that gives you insane speed at a cost. And that idea of being pulled between control and chaos runs through everything. To actually see the story unfold, you need to collect purple sigils scattered across the game. You earn these by completing levels, finishing specific challenges like hitting a certain number of near misses or beating time goals, or grabbing them mid-run in risky spots. As you collect more, you unlock manga-style panels that slowly piece together what's going on. It's a cool way to handle storytelling in a game like this because it never gets in the way, but it gives you something extra to work toward beyond just finishing races. Campaign mode is made up of 45 levels, each with a start and finish, so this isn't an endless runner. Every track feels like a separate challenge. There's also a just drive mode, where you can ignore structure completely and just push for high combos and personal bests. That split works well because sometimes you want a defined goal, and other times you just want to zone out and ride. Moment-to-moment gameplay is where everything really clicks. You're riding a motorcycle through dense traffic and tight environments, constantly reacting to what's in front of you. You can pop a wheelie to gain speed, but doing that lifts your front wheel and limits your visibility, making it harder to read what's ahead. You can slow down, drift to slide under obstacles, or lean down to avoid low ceilings. There are ramps to launch over hazards, narrow gaps that force precise movement, and barriers that demand quick reactions. Levels are also broken up into sections, shifting between more traditional highway traffic and tighter, more chaotic segments where movement becomes trickier and more deliberate. What makes it all work is how these mechanics feed into each other. The wheelie perfectly captures the game's risk and reward design. You want that extra speed, especially if you're chasing a better time. But the second you commit to it, you're almost making things harder on yourself. A lot of crashes come from pushing just a little too far, whether that's slamming into the back of a car because you couldn't see clearly enough, or misjudging a near miss while trying to complete a challenge. The game is actually pretty forgiving with checkpoints, so even when you fail, you're dropped right back into the action without losing momentum, which keeps the flow intact. At first, it's easy enough to just reach the end of a level, but the real death comes from going after all the objectives. Each track pushes you to balance speed, precision, and control, and those goals often work against each other. Trying to go as fast as possible while also avoiding crashes and racking up near misses forces you to really learn each level. That replayability is a big part of the appeal, even if some objectives, especially near misses, can feel a bit too strict at times. Visually, the game sticks to a retro-futuristic Tokyo aesthetic filled with neon lights and sleek environments. You'll see a lot of similar color palettes and structures throughout, and it would have been nice to get more variety, like completely different themed locations. That said, the later levels do a good job mixing things up with different layouts and set pieces like tunnels, industrial zones, and more dynamic environments. The sense of speed is excellent, helped a lot by visual effects like motion lines streaking across the screen. Everything runs smoothly, which is crucial for a game this fast, and it never felt like performance got in the way. The audio does a lot to sell the experience too. The sound of cars rushing past, hitting cones, or crashing into obstacles all land the way you would expect. The music leans into electronic and techno beats that match the pace perfectly, keeping the energy high without becoming distracting. It all comes together to create a strong sense of immersion where the visuals and sound reinforce the constant forward momentum. Moto Rush Reborn is an arcade racer that works. It focuses on speed, style, challenge, and a defining mechanic that sets it apart, and it delivers on all of them. It wants you to go fast, take risks, and improve with each run. There are a few things that could push it even further, like more environmental variety or competitive features like leaderboards, but the core experience is strong enough to stand on its own. If you're into that classic arcade feeling where every run is a chance to do better, this is an easy one to keep coming back to. I give Moto Rush Reborn a 7.5 out of 10.